What's up, guys? Steve here. Welcome back to another episode of How to Get Ahead in Life. Another episode, another video, whatever. How to get ahead and not be stuck in the current situation you're in if you're trying to get out of that one. So let's jump right into it. I know what it's like to have crappy credit score and just be kind of stuck in a rut, so I'm going to give you an idea of how to get out of that. I know I've done a couple videos before in the past of how to do this. I'm going to just make it real quick and real simple. No BS. Let's just make it happen. So I will tell you, my past, it was mid fives for his credit score, which is absolutely ridiculous. You know, it's not good. It's all bad. You can't do anything. And if you do, you are paying premium price for it. Now, to get out of this rut, you need to get right up here and right on your budget. Make sure you're writing down exactly where all your money's at, where it's going, and what you're going to do with that money when you receive it. There's multiple ways to go about all this. And as far as boosting your credit and going that route, it's going to take a little bit of time. So boosting your credit score is going to take a little bit of discipline, a little bit of planning, and a little bit of mindset. Getting your mind right, making sure you know exactly where your money's at, where it's going, and where it should go when you receive it. When I did this, I was in the mid fives for a credit score, and now, I got up to 820 and was able to boost it a little bit more with that, but that was after I had it established and boosted it up to an 820. So the way I went about it, went out and got a secured Visa. This is where you're putting money up front to a Visa or a credit card, and that credit card company will give you X amount of credit, which is basically however much you put. You can use it something small like $250. You can go up to whatever you want. Whatever you're willing to put in, they're basically willing to give you credit for because they know that they already have your money. So at worst, they break even. That's how that goes. So me personally, what I did was right off the bat, I went to a local credit union. It was small mom and pop credit union, and I was able to get a secured Visa. And I will tell you, it was funny because it didn't even say Visa. It said Visa on it, but it had a goofy logo. I remember we went out to dinner once with the buddies, and we all threw down our cards, and I was just getting clowned on there like, what the heck is that? We'd have never even heard of that bank, this and that. Dude, whatever. Get out of here. I'm working on mine. You worry about yours. Let's get to where we need to be. So I went through, did the secured Visa. Then after that started going pretty well. It started boosting the credit a little bit. And then the first thing I did was get a Capital One. Now, I will tell you, I'm not getting paid or endorsed by any of these guys. And just to throw this out there, I am not a financial advisor. This is just the tips that I did, what worked for me, so hopefully it works for you. So let's get back into this. Oh yeah, by the way, like, subscribe, do all that stuff down there. But anyway, so once my secured Visa started doing pretty well, then I jumped into a Capital One. I did a credit card, and I think this one, honestly, they gave me such a low credit limit. I wasn't too thrilled, but I was also excited because I wasn't having to front the money right off the bat for this Visa. So once I did that, I just kept doing the same thing. Just use this thing as my debit card. Basically, bills that I knew that I would always going to have to pay, all my utilities, fuel, insurance, whatever. I threw it on this card, used it like a debit card, paid it off every month. That's the biggest thing that I did. I would utilize whatever credit limit I had on there and pay it off every month. I wouldn't roll it over, wouldn't do anything like that, and made sure that all the payments were done on time. Make sure when you have these credit limits, you don't go full bore and just maxing out that card to where you can't pay it. Only pay or only charge what you can pay off. And that was huge for me. So I did this, and honestly, it took a few years, but I was able to get it from that, 560, 570 range to the 820. Now, once I was able to get the credit score up, obviously some things changed. I needed to get an auto loan. I ended up getting some other loans to where it helped boost everything and just showed that I was able to manage my credit a little bit better rather than just one credit card. Once my credit started getting up into the sevens and all that, I did start applying for credit cards. And this was just to basically show that it gets diversified. That way, when anybody comes in and they try and run my credit, they don't see, oh, you just have one secured Visa and one Capital One credit card. Yeah, we don't know how well you can actually handle credit, right? So once I got into the sevens, that's when I kind of shotgunned my applications for credit cards, and I would start getting random ones here and there just to see what would pop up if any credit limits were higher. But I never got rid of that Capital One. I still have it to this day, and it shows just the length of credit. There's multiple things that play into your credit factor, and I will do a video on how to monitor all that and try and figure all that out. But I will tell you, just make sure when you get started, you can do that secured visa, you can do a regular visa, whatever limit they get. Just don't be rolling over credit over and over and over and over again, making sure that you're making those payments and paying it off. They're going to love this. All credit is just showing how much debt you're able to manage and still pay it off. There's multiple things that can play into this, and you can use credit for your benefit later on in the future, but for right now, let's just work on building it. Because let's face it, at some point in your life, you're going to need credit. I remember when I was growing up, my parents were like, you don't need credit, you can, pay for everything cash. Well, yeah, that's great if you have cash. I didn't have cash. I don't have cash to go buy a house. Like, it doesn't, I was so torn with that, and I wish it would have been taught earlier. Honestly, kind of telling you guys, you're gonna need credit at some point or another, whether you want to go buy a car, whether you want to buy a house. I mean, shoot, even if you want to go rent a car on vacation, you're gonna need credit. So that's why I say, make sure you get it on point, get going, get rolling now. And I mean, even getting utilities set up for a house or a rental house, they're going to run your credit. So that's my thing. Make sure, and I think everybody should be taught this right off the bat, but make sure you are getting credit, get it established while you're young, and don't abuse it. Get those credit cards, get those prepaid credit cards if you have to, but just get it rolling. Make sure you don't go out there and just buy something you don't need or buy something you can't afford. If you can't afford it, don't put it on credit card. That's kind of the way I live by, the motto that I live by. If I can't afford it, I don't need to go out there and try and get it. I'll work towards it. I'll figure out what I need to do to earn it. But if I can't afford it, I'm not going to do it. And that's kind of how I run things, and especially like with the business, as you guys see on the Turo side, I preach the same thing. If I can't afford a car payment, I'm not putting that car on the platform. That's just how I go. So make sure you guys are doing that just to get that credit going. I will get other videos on exactly which credit card companies work best and how you can boost it quicker. But I'm just telling you, that's how I did it. Secured visa, applied for other visas, and then eventually started reaching out and branching out into other accounts, so that way you have more than just one and you can show that you can maintain all this stuff. So hopefully this helps out a little bit. It's a little bit of a long journey, but it is definitely worth it, and it can be done. I can promise you, where I'm at compared to where I was, it's totally 180. So I know you guys can do it too. Just stick with it, get that mindset right, and just make sure you guys are budgeting, figure out where your money's going, and stick with it. Like, subscribe, do all that stuff down there, and I will catch you guys on the next one. I will make sure I bring you guys more tips and tricks on how to boost your credit and what you can do with the credit once you have it established. We will catch you guys on the next one. Later, y'all.